Welcome to the Passive Income Machine podcast, where we show you how to break free from the grind and achieve real financial freedom in 10 years or less. My name is Ryan D. Lee, and I've helped thousands turn income into cash flow, trade fake money for real assets, and take back control over their time, their wealth, and ultimately their life. Each week, you'll get strategy, tools, and mindset to build your own passive income machine. So my friends, sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode. All right, my friends. Welcome back to the Passive Income Machine podcast. You are on the microphone today with me, Ryan D. Lee, and today we're going to be talking about something that is so important to me. This is the reason that I get on the microphone, that I talk the way I talk, that I share the systems, the processes, the tools, and the thought, really the thought process that I do. It's for this one reason. I truly believe that freedom is our opportunity. It's our greatest obligation here on life. And freedom requires something that most people don't understand. It's a two-edged sword. It's a double-sided stick. The freedom that we want requires stewardship on the other end, and how owning your life starts with owning your role in the life that you've created. Now listen, my friends, most people chase freedom like it's something that they can buy. But true freedom isn't a destination. It's a byproduct. And that byproduct only comes when you radically own your life. Stewardship isn't constraint. It's the path to real power, real clarity, and real freedom. Now, listen, it's 4th of July or close to it at the time of this recording, and we're celebrating our freedom as America. Something that's been fought for, something that's been sacrificed for, but I don't believe, myself included, I fully understand, or we collectively fully understand the responsibility, the stewardship that comes with the freedom that we've been handed. I mean, freedom sounds sexy, right? I mean, cue the fireworks, the bald eagles, red, white, and blue. Maybe there's a jet flying overhead. We picture the American Revolution, brave men and women signing the Declaration of Independence, or brave men and women fighting for the rights that we enjoy as Americans today, defending it with their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. And now, here we are, nearing America's 250th birthday, a quarter millennium into the great American experiment. Can a people truly govern themselves? Was the question that Americans dared to ask. Can individuals live free by being fully in alignment with principles and with owning not only the choices that they make, but the results of the choices that they're making? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Freedom without stewardship, it's chaos. And we're feeling that and seeing that all around us in the world today. We live in a world of chaos because people who are free but unwilling to accept the consequences of that freedom. The reality that that freedom creates is quite literally chaos. We've confused freedom, I believe, with comfort. We've mistaken liberty for license. And we've forgotten that freedom requires responsibility, personal responsibility. The most powerful life, the life that you were truly meant to live, is free. It's the one with no limits. It's the one where you own what's been entrusted to you. Your time, your talents, your money, your relationships, your results. Because freedom, it's not a handout, it's a harvest. And stewardship, that's the seed that you plant in order to have the life that you ultimately want. I mean, let's get a little bit philosophical here for just a minute, my friends. I believe that God gave us our agency, our divine right to choose. But he also gave us laws. I truly believe that that same God is governed by the laws that we're governed by, right? It's a universe of order. He gave us these laws, not just moral laws, but universal laws. The law of gravity doesn't care if you believe in it or not. I mean, if you jump off the roof and meet reality, you're going to meet reality really fast on your way down. It's the same with money, with time, with life. You can choose to align with the laws that govern results, or you can ignore them completely and complain about the outcome. But you don't confuse that with freedom. That's bondage in disguise. Real freedom is when you stop resisting reality and start aligning with it. When you stop blaming and start building. When you stop chasing shortcuts and start planting seeds that require time, effort, and energy to harvest. Stewardship, my friends, is the bridge between potential and power. between desire and destiny, between the dream of freedom and the life that you're actually living. So let's take a little bit of time on this podcast and let's rethink the concept, the responsibility, and the honor of freedom. What is freedom really? Not just time off or travel, not early retirement, not passive income. Those are all components of choices that I've made and the results that come from those choices. But real freedom is the power to choose how you live. It's the ability for you to align your time and energy with your highest values. I oftentimes think back to Viktor Frankl when I read his book, Man's Search for Meaning. Viktor Frankl found himself in the most horrific of human circumstances. Everything was stripped from him: his clothes, his dignity, his food, his family. Everything was taken from this individual. And at the lowest of the lowest possible place in life, he found the greatest human freedom of all: man's ability to choose their reaction in the midst of life circumstances. You and I can't control life circumstances always, but what we can always control is our ability to choose, our reaction. When I hit financial freedom, I thought that my problems were going to disappear. That's ultimately what I thought. I thought build up enough cash flow, buy enough real estate, put enough money in a vault, and as soon as I get there, my life's going to be so easy. My problems are going to disappear. I'm going to sell off into the sunset. But they didn't. My problems just changed. My life went from predetermined, prior to financial freedom, to self-determined. And that might sound freeing and liberating to be self-determined, but that's one of the greatest opportunities for self-destruction that I've ever seen. I've seen so many people arrive at a point of self-determined. They have more than enough money and they destroy their lives with their own freedom. Right? They don't understand how to govern choices that lead to outcomes, consequences, good or bad. So what's the heavier weight? If you're not ready to carry it, most people think that freedom is the end goal, but freedom is the result of real stewardship. So the key truth I'm hoping this is opening up for you, this is a truth that we all have to find at some point if we truly want to acknowledge and accept our freedom, is you can't be free from something unless you're willing to be responsible for something greater. Hey, quick time out from the show. I just had to pop in and say, if this content is resonating with you, the How to Retire in 10 Years Summit is going to blow your mind. Every strategy you hear us talk about starts there. This is the ultimate event for creating real financial freedom in 2025. We've got an early registration bonus that you're not going to want to miss. Spots are filling fast, so check out that link in the description or just head over to retireintenyears.com and get registered now. Let's make this your year. Now, back to the show. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the hidden cost of chasing freedom. Most people don't ever truly feel free. They chase the illusion of freedom, passive income, early retirement, without building the foundation to sustain it. They hand over responsibility to systems like 401ks, government programs, to things that they don't have control over. I've met with a lot of people who have more than enough money, but because they're not in control of their money, they never actually feel free. They're worried about what might happen. Because they're unwilling to take control over their money, to raise their financial intelligence, and to use money as a tool, they abdicate the responsibility and the outcome to someone else. And when things don't work, they point fingers and they blame. They blame the financial fiduciary that they had. They blame the market. They blame the government. And while all of those people and things might have something to do with the circumstances that they're experiencing, they fail to point the finger at the very person who deserves all of the credit and the responsibility themselves. They resist stewardship because it looks like work. And most people don't believe work is part of freedom. My friends, I want you to consider work is the essence of freedom when it's actually the path to power. Power or work is your ability to do things, to move, to raise your financial intelligence, to become someone new. That doesn't just happen. Your freedom and your ability to chase something greater than you have today, to work for it, is the freedom that you're looking for. Work and freedom, work and stewardship, freedom and stewardship, they go hand in hand. Wanting financial freedom without building the skill set and the discipline to manage money is building a house on sand. Freedom without a framework is fragile. It collapses when life hits, and life inevitably is going to hit. So I want to talk finally about a concept that's difficult for many people to accept. And it's this concept of stewardship, delayed gratification. What is stewardship? Okay, stewardship, it's not control, it's care, it's cultivation, it's expansion. It's a sacred responsibility of managing what's in your hands. Whether it's money, are you multiplying it or are you just consuming it? Whether it's time, are you a steward over your time? Are you investing your time intentionally? Are you aligning your time and attention to the things that you truly value, or are you wasting your time as a consumer, scrolling through ads, scrolling through social media? Are you wasting your time or are you investing it? Your attention. Your attention is your greatest resource, my friends, and your attention is bombarded and under attack. Are you planting seeds that are going to lead to the life that you want by focusing your attention in the places that it's going to give you the greatest impact, the greatest outcome, or are you letting your attention be dissipated? Are you letting everyone else's problems take your attention? Your talents. Are you using the gifts that God gave you with the intention of creating a life of meaning and purpose? Stewardship is knowing what you want and aligning your resources to get it. It's knowing what you want and aligning your resources to get it: time, money, attention, talents. It's just as much a process of elimination as it is a process of allocation. I mean, think about this, the biblical tie-in of the parable of the talents. The stewards who multiply were told, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy." Joy is freedom. Using your talents, multiplying your talents, using them to magnify the opportunity that you were given, that's joy and that's freedom. So, my friends, how do we obtain our freedom through stewardship? Here's the loop. Stewardship equals sovereignty. When you own your role, you gain options. When you multiply what's in your hands, new doors open. When you're faithful with the little, you're entrusted with more. Stewardship leads to clarity, confidence, and capacity. And the key concept I want you to consider is this: the world teaches you to consume. The world teaches you that you're a victim. It's not your fault. If you just hand over your money, your attention, your opportunities to someone else, the world will give you back what you want at some point in the future. But that violates a fundamental principle of life. You don't get more freedom by doing less. You get it by becoming more, by stewarding more. So, my friends, I love the 4th of July for what it stands for. I love the concept of freedom because I truly believe you and I were born free. The only question is, will we accept it? Will we accept our freedom? Will we accept our ability to choose? And will we acknowledge the consequences, the reality of the life that we're living today is the sum total of the decisions that we made yesterday? I believe that my life today, as good or as bad as it is the reflection of the habits and the decisions that I made 3 to 5 years ago. And if I want something different in the future, I have to accept a deeper level of stewardship over the choices that I've made and to the results that it leads. And one of the most powerful parts about stewardship and about thinking this way about freedom is you can start to look for the principles. A principle in life is a universal truth. It's something that's true independent of me and independent of you. Think about the principle of gravity. You could deny it and I can acknowledge it. I could deny it and you could acknowledge it. Nonetheless, it is true, whether we deny it or acknowledge it whatsoever. But when I understand a principle, a universal truth about money, about health, about life, about science, about God, when I understand these principles and I choose to use my own agency to align my behaviors with those principles, I get consistent and predictable outcomes. Think about that for a moment. If I find myself in a position where I don't like the outcomes of my life and I understood a principle, all I have to do is retrace my steps, my decisions, the things that I did, and I'll realize when I deviated from a principle. If I realign my behaviors with a principle, I'll start to get back on the path of getting consistent and predictable outcomes. So, my friends, the goal of life is really pretty simple. Find out what those principles are in health, in fitness, in business, in money, in relationships. Find out what those principles are that produce the outcomes that you want and align your behaviors with them. Accept your freedom. Accepting your freedom isn't just this sell off into the sunset. It's accepting the results of your freedom as well. So, my friends, I hope wherever you're at today, I hope you're enjoying the fireworks. I hope you're eating a hot dog. I can't remember. Well, someone on my team told me that a hot dog is a Rizzy or something like that. I don't even know what that means. But here's the reality, my friends. Freedom is real. The only question is, will you accept it? All right, my friends, thanks so much for hanging out today. I really appreciate you tuning in. But before you go, if we talked about something today that made you want to take action, you need to get yourself registered for the How to Retire in 10 Years Summit. It's the financial game changer that you've been looking for, teaching you exactly how to create passive income and financial freedom in 2025. Jump on it early because we've got a special bonus waiting for you. All the details are in the link below, or head on over to retireintenyears.com. So get registered and I'll see you at the summit.